So if you have not heard the news, Komi Can't Communicate is ending in 3 chapters. This news comes directly from Manga Mogura, which is legitimately a very trustworthy source. They posted this saying that, the actual manga Komi Can't Communicate will be ending in 3 chapters, which means judging by how many chapters are currently out, the series should be most likely ending around chapter 496, 97, somewhere around there. But yeah, that's crazy. It's honestly not news I actually expected, but at the same time, it kind of is. When it comes to confessions, when it comes to characters getting together, usually when characters get together, that's the end of the story. The story starts to wrap itself up, and that's about it. I mean, let's look at a recent example. Let's look at, like, for instance, Nagatoro from last year. When Senpai and Nagatoro obviously, got together, the series quickly wrapped itself up in basically 5 or 7 or so chapters after that. So it's a typical, obvious conclusion of a romance manga when the characters actually meet their goal of getting together. Usually the manga is entering into its endgame, and when it means endgame, it means it's going to wrap up in about 10 chapters. And this has always been the common way romance manga goes, and that's why most of the time when it comes to romance manga, the actual, getting together part is just saved to the last moments of the series, because once it happens, there's really not much more the author really can tell, or they might hit a brick wall and not really know what to do with the story. I'll get more into that in a second, but one thing I want to talk about when it comes to this announcement is that obviously the community is a little bit mixed about this announcement. Obviously there's a lot of people, that is sad to see Komi, coming to an end, but I've seen quite a few people actually criticize Komi Can't Communicate for a variety of different things, to art style, to it feeling just drawn out, different stuff like that. And I'm going to keep it 100% real with all of you. I'm not currently caught up with the latest chapter of Komi Can't Communicate, but I have read it. It's a good story, but there is definitely parts within Komi that is, dragged out. I mean, there's no denying that. It definitely has moments where it feels like I went back to the early 2000s of manga, and I'm reading a series that legitimately just doesn't know how to, like, progress or give character development. It'll have some stuff happen, and then it feels like it's a bunch of filler just pushed together, and then we have a little bit of progression for maybe 2 or 3 chapters, and then there's some more progression here and there. Obviously, you can feel free to disagree with me on that. That's completely fine, but Komi does have slow moments, and I can see where the, criticism comes from. So people are obviously happy as well that Komi Can't Communicate is coming to an end, because it feels a little bit drawn out. I mean, to be fair, 490 plus chapters is a lot of chapters for a romance slice of life, especially with just 2 characters trying to get together, and Komi's goal of getting 100 friends and all that type of stuff. It is a lot of chapters, and obviously there's been a lot of enjoyment from it, a lot of good fans that have loved the series, but, there is areas that definitely could have been better. But if there is one thing, though, that I need to talk about when it comes to this, announcement, is the fact that Komi now is ending before Rent-a-Girlfriend. Obviously, Rent-a-Girlfriend is, constantly memed on. People, literally crap on Rent-a-Girlfriend all the time. But it's legitimately amusing to me that Rent-a-Girlfriend is still going very strong, extremely popular in Japan, makes a lot of sales, and, there's no ending in sight. And somehow it manages to retain its audience within Japan, and it continues to remain the talk of the town. And it's funny, because it's like, once again, Rent-a-Girlfriend has outlasted another long-running series, and it is still yet to end. It's pretty funny. And at this point, Rent-a-Girlfriend is legitimately going to outlast most romance series before everything is said and done, because of just, like, after seeing all these series come to a close in the last year or so, I feel like at this point, Rent-a-Girlfriend is the One Piece of the rom-com romance genre, honestly. But jokes aside, let's get into Komi Can't Communicate and its conclusion that's going on. So, one thing I've always advocated, and I've talked about when it comes to romance stories, is that there is a lot to work with when characters get together. Obviously, they get together, that is the main goal of the story, seeing the characters reach a happy ending, but obviously their lives don't come to a conclusion. And I think that there is such a huge wasted opportunity for these authors not diving into, let's say, a college life or married life, getting to see them with kids and trying to adapt to the adult life. I would love to see more stuff like that. It's what I want to see from Nagatoro, which, FYI for those that are unaware, the author of Nagatoro is currently working on something new. It could either be a sequel to Nagatoro, maybe like a a college life thing, or it could be maybe a vampire manga for all we know. But the offer of Nagatoro is working on something. But the reason why that's relevant is because I feel like a lot of these offers, when they get to the conclusion of the characters getting together, they have an opportunity to make a sequel to progress their life and allow them to do something else with it, but obviously they usually just end their story and that's it. I feel like it might come down to a few reasons of controversy. Like, for instance, a lot of people act like they want to see the continuation of their life, but I feel like a lot of people would be upset if there is some conflict between, like, two people getting together after you spend maybe 300, 400 chapters of characters trying to find love for each other and they get together. It can be annoying seeing characters go through hardship and, maybe break up or something after all of that conflict, maybe in a new sequel series. So there is definitely some parts that are probably unpopular when it comes to continuations of that. Maybe offers weigh in and they think about that and that's why they never want to continue it. But I do think that it's still a waste of opportunity. I wish more series would do like what Usaki-chan is doing, like, continuing on after characters getting together and getting to see them basically trying to marry and maybe even have kids and stuff. That's what I want to see more from stories, and so hopefully Komi does get that. I don't think so, though. I mean, looking at the track record of Komi, it's an enjoyable series, but it's definitely nothing groundbreaking and shattering of its genre. So judging by tradition when it comes to manga like this, it's probably not going to have a sequel. I mean, it's possible, but I don't really think so. But I wish we got more. I would love to see the college life more like afterlife of, like, Komi Can't Communicate after the stuff with school. See them in the adult, but that's how it is. I guess I'll leave it at that, though. Yeah, just wanted to bring this news to everyone that was unaware. Komi Can't Communicate is ending in 3 chapters. Wild stuff. But I love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy, and sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off today. I'm a little bit sick, not gonna lie, and there's a blizzard outside, so that's probably not helping me as well. But be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.